So good morning. Boy, it's early. I learned something, every single day. And yesterday I learned that I need to learn UTC time. 10 o'clock UTC time is way too early here in Chicago for an AMA. But I've had my coffee and I'm ready. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm not sure this is the best time moving forward, not just for me personally, but for a lot of the community. So put out another poll for the next one. But as I mentioned before, I want to try to do these as often as possible, just to interface with the community and tell people kind of what's going on, what's happening throughout this week, next week, the short-term future, but as well the long-term future, because I am actively working on our long-term future, which I think is kind of what really excites me. It's the it's how we're going to take this to a whole other level that is going to be unlike anything that I've personally seen in the crypto space. So I'm just really excited about that, and I want to talk a bit about that today. But as a reminder, if you have questions, feel free to chime in at any point, or put them inside of the group chat, and I'll be monitoring it throughout the AMA. So first off, as I said, welcome to Cure Token. As I said it many times, this token and project is a lot bigger than myself. This project is it means a lot to me personally, but not from a financial perspective, from a goodwill perspective. And at the end of the day, this community is about all of the people in it. All of the team members. To date, this is just blows my mind. But to date, we have a really great support team, and that's a variety of different people from different areas of the world. And then we have a volunteer team. And if you were to count all of the people that are actively working on a daily basis to spread the word about Cure, it's in excess of 65 people at this point. And that's crazy. This started with just myself one day and a video, and now we have a massive team of supporters behind this project. And I see that growing significantly over the next few weeks. Also, I need to give special thanks to the DUT team, Dogs United token. As I was going through the process of developing this project, I hit a lot of roadblocks, hit a lot of obstacles. And I was connected with, or I had reached out to Rug Seekers. And Rug Seekers helped me a lot to get a new perspective and sort of ground myself on what we needed to do to move forward. And they connected me with Eric and his team over at DUT, and they have been the biggest support that I've received to date on this project. They have taken charge of so much. They have advised on so much, and I just want to thank them because I know for certain that the project would not be where it is today if it wasn't for their help. And we're adding a lot of new team members moving forward. We're adding teams on the shilling side, on the marketing side, on traditional promotion side and PR. We just got a lot going outside of our community right now to try to build it. So again, thank you for that. So let's talk about what we've done over the past week. We've grown our community. I think our Telegram channel right now is 3,150 members. That's a pretty substantial growth from where we were a week ago. I think we were just shy of 2,000 members at that point. Excuse me, just woke up. The other very interesting fact here, I'm going to pull this one up, is the number of holders that we're at. We're hovering right now at about 1,900 right now, 1,918 holders. And as most of you know, in order to get your icon on MetaMask and Trust Wallet, it used to be that you had to have 2,500 holders, which we're really close to doing. Unfortunately, a month ago or 3 weeks ago, they changed their rules to make it so that you had to have 5,000 holders. I don't think we're going to have a problem getting to 5,000 personally. I think at the pace we're going and the amounts of effort people are putting into to spread the word about Cure, I'm very confident we'll be at 5,000 holders very shortly. And we have a lot of very aggressive and active marketing going on, which we started this week and rolling into next week. And I think that's going to be a game changer as well. The more that we can spread the word, the more that we can get people's eyeballs on our project, I think the more that people will realize what we stand for, and who we are. And I want to reiterate what we stand for. From the beginning, I wanted this project to be based on transparency and just a full, sort of feeling as if people had access to me, which I hope people feel they do. And I try to reach out and respond to every single message that I receive. It might take me a while to get through them all, but I don't think I leave any message unresponded to. I'm also, as everyone knows, willing to put myself out there in front of this project, which a lot of projects don't do. They hide behind the keyboard, they hide behind their computer without voice chat, without video. And I think it's very important that people feel that I'm accessible and feel like they can relate and understand and know me. So, as I said, that means a lot to me. That's one of my values. So take advantage of it. If you do want to reach out at any point, even outside of this AMA, just send me a direct message or email me or even call me. I'm always available. So let me talk about what else we got going on. We've been aggressively chasing CoinMarketCap through a variety of different tactics, and as well CoinGecko, but which is also the same. We're chasing that with the same amount of rigor, and I'm feeling really confident about it. I think we're in a good position. We have a good number of holders. We have a very good daily volume, which exceeds all the requirements. So I don't think that there's going to be any problem with us getting listed. It's just going to come down to timing, and I can't predict it. I can't guarantee it. As most of you know, both of those listing sites are black boxes. They have very little of any communication back and forth. And if you don't get listed, they don't tell you why. Or if you do get listed, they don't tell you what you did well. So it is unfortunate that it's that type of process, but I am confident with the way the project's set up, with the audit we've done, the KYC that I did personally, the amount of holders, as I mentioned, the daily volume. I'm feeling pretty confident that we're going to get listed in a short period of time here. But unfortunately, I don't have an exact date. We have been continuing an aggressive marketing campaign, as I mentioned. We have continued our PooCoin advertising. We have extended our social media marketing, and that goes across Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Telegram, obviously, Twitter. And we're doing a lot there, and we're going to be doing even more, a significant amount more this week. So social media is going to be a good channel for us to bring people in. As most of you had seen on the chart, we did have a lot of movement take place about a week ago, and that movement was attributed to the marketing, and it was attributed to, really, it's attributed to the community. I think we connected with the right people at the right time. We got the right eyeballs on our project. Did someone have a question?
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
How are you?
Good.
Okay.
Good. Well, let me, for some reason, my headphones aren't working. Oh, well. So let me see where I was. Could anyone remind me of exactly what it was?
Yeah, you were talking about the marketing.
The marketing, and the social marketing specifically, and what we're going to be doing next. So I think we have a pretty big differentiator from a lot of the other projects out there. First off, we have a small market cap right now. I don't even know exactly what we are sitting at this moment. Let's see here. We are at hovering around a $6.1 million market cap. That's a pretty small project. We're sitting under 2,000 holders. Again, a very small project. And I think that's appealing to a lot of people to be able to get in early on a project like this. But the differentiator that we have is the way that we're going to get people into the project. And that's going to be through non-traditional crypto marketing. We're going to do a lot of that. And we are doing a lot of that. But we're going outside of the crypto community. Yesterday, I hosted the third or fourth Crypto 101 session, which is an opportunity for people from outside of the crypto community, outside of our community, to learn about crypto and learn about what the words are, what they mean, what are the different types. I also walked through, what to watch out for, what to be careful of, what are the signs of different types of crypto, good things and bad things. The last part of the sessions, I walk people through how to set up wallets, what a wallet is even for some people, what a wallet is, how to set up a wallet, but then inevitably how to buy Cure. The people who attend these sessions are going to be lifetime holders. These are people who aren't going to be actively trading. They probably won't be active in our community. Their goal is to support pediatric cancer. Their goal is to potentially, put some money in and see what happens. And I think that's going to be a great feeder channel for our project. And no other project that I can think of has that, has that ability to attract people outside of crypto. That's why I feel that the scale that we're going to see here shortly is going to be significantly and exponentially greater than what it's been over the past week. I'm very bullish on that.
Excuse me, Jacob.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, Carlos. From Puerto Rico over here. I have a question. Now that you mentioned about outsiders or people that are not really, involved directly maybe in the crypto world, I wanted to ask in the long term, will you probably get under consideration research and development industries or research and development organizations regarding what it is cancer treatment and all those type of stuff?
Yeah. So a couple things there, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that cancer research is at the core of this project. At the end of the day, that's why I started it. And I think there's a couple things there. The marketing dollars that we've raised, a massive portion. I'm sorry, not marketing. The charity wallet that we've raised, a massive portion of that is going to cancer research. Massive. The rest of that is going to direct family support for families in need, and that's global. That's not just in my region. And I've put calls out there for people to volunteer names or volunteer families that are in need. And I've received some of them. I was hoping I would receive a lot more, but I've received some in Indonesia, in the UK, in Puerto Rico, in South America. So we're getting some, but I'm hoping for more. The future of this is, and this is talking outside of marketing. So let's talk about partnerships. And I'm glad you asked this question, because it's so important that we partner with the right partners, and those partners need to be global partners focused on childhood cancer research throughout the world. This could be institutions, educational institutions, universities. It could be research. It could be anything like that. And that's the focus. And the more that we can connect with outside organizations, communities, and foundations, the more our community is going to grow organically as well. We will be able to tap into non-crypto communities throughout the world like that. And they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of believers, and they have a lot of people that are trying to help. And these are people that we can educate and bring into the crypto space and hopefully turn into long-term or lifetime holders. So I think the research is at the foundation core of this project. And my goal is to not make it a regional, a regional focus, but definitely a global focus throughout the world. So Carlos, if you know of any research going on, childhood cancer research specifically in Puerto Rico, definitely reach out and let me know.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
While we pause here, does anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
I'm particularly impressed with the marketing so far, but have you been able to look at YouTubers? Because writing on Twitter, Telegram, having an ad show up the same time without changing is different compared to when someone with a good channel is analyzing the project, what the purpose is. I feel it will give Cure more exposure because people want to
Yeah.
watch. Okay, this person is talking about it, not just writing a tweet, not just sending a write up and saying Cure is good, blah blah blah, and all.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you have, I feel YouTube influencers have a way of amplifying project higher than Twitter. From my own point of view, I don't know if there is a plan to incorporate YouTube influencers as we go on. I don't know if you have that plan.
We absolutely do. And early on in the project, I reached out to some of the top YouTube influencers, and surprisingly, a lot of them responded well. I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but marketing does cost. There is an expense to it. And for example, one of these YouTubers who I would like to eventually work with is named Crypto Love. And if you haven't seen his YouTube, you should. Unfortunately, for one video, it's $35,000. So that's a big amount of money for a single video. And we need to start more naturally, and that's where we're at right now. Is more, we're trying to spend wisely in the ways that's going to get us further, farther, faster, and then scale this. YouTube is absolutely on the roadmap, and we can do a lot more YouTube outside of what Crypto Love, for example, has proposed. But we need to identify authentic YouTube, I guess, influencers. There are a lot of underperforming social media channels out there for people who look like they have a lot of holders who don't actually get any comments. It's all bot driven. And the key is evaluating all of the channels, whether it's on Twitter or on YouTube, and figuring out which ones are authentic and which ones are at the affordability range that we're at right now before we scale even further. So if you do know of any YouTube influencers, definitely send them. I know there's been a few people in the community who have already sent me some lists, and I've reached out to those YouTubers, but it hasn't moved as fast as I would like it to have. But I know that with our new marketing initiatives this week, that will be one of our targets. But again, if anyone has any additional people that they would like to, I guess, have identified or reached out to, let me know. DM me, and we'll see if we can make something work. Cool. Well, again, with pause there, does anyone else have any other questions? I see a lot of familiar faces here. So, okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the future. So I had spoken in the last AMA about the variety of different options for utility, like besides charity. Like, what is the actual utility function of our future state of this project? And that's what excites me the most, is where this can go. But we got to live where we are. We got to work through the paces in order to even get there. But my mind is already 10 years ahead of where I want this thing to be. So I had proposed a couple different ideas of opportunity, or places of opportunity. One is, to reiterate, one is creating either writing on or creating an entirely new blockchain, which is focused on research, and not just pediatric cancer research, but all research. There's a massive gap in the research community, where different pockets of researchers are working throughout the world. And sometimes they have shared networks around for different types of research labs that collaborate. But there's a massive gap in the amount of data that is shared and the amount of data that's accessible. There's been a lot of conversation. I'm not the first one to ever think about this idea, but I feel that with my background and my technology and innovation background, and this project and Cure as a name, we can make this happen. We could build a blockchain of agnostic patient health information that lives with a patient throughout their entire life, maybe in the form of an NFT, a dynamic NFT that grows organically over time, but it's not tied to a name. It's not tied to a social security number or a passport ID or any sort of civilian ID. It's agnostic. You don't know who the person is, but you have some identifiable traits, important traits like age, race, sex. You know all of their history of potentially blood work and testings and just everything that is personal to that person. This could be the way to solve a lot of issues that we have here in the U.S., specifically around HIPAA, but I know other areas throughout the world, in the EU, et cetera, have other regulations around health information. So it's important that remains, I guess, agnostic, anonymous. And I believe that this could be the roadmap for that. The second use case for our future utility could be around access. And what I mean by that is it could be access to quality, affordable, accessible healthcare throughout the world, globally. So Cure could become the currency for that access. It could become, you could trade for Cure. You could donate Cure to people or people in need, and they would get access to professional care throughout the world where it may not exist today, or they might have to travel too far to receive, or it costs too much to get to. So I'm trying to contemplate an idea around that, and as everyone knows, this is a community-driven project, and it's important that as I start to hone in on the future vision of this, I want the community to help drive it. And so again, just like as I always say, just reach out to me at any point if you have ideas or you want to collaborate on this, or you want to help brainstorm on where the future of Cure can go. But I'm spending a lot of time focused on that. The short-term future for this next week is we are amping up our marketing significantly, actually starting today. We are so our marketing is just massively being increased. We are doing daily Reddit posts. We are onboarding new team members. We are obviously going into the social space with more direction, more strategy, more horsepower to get there farther and faster. But also, I am personally chasing the CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap listing. I can't go into too much detail. I can give you as much as I gave before, but I do have a direct line of communication going on, which is great. So I'm hoping that that will come very shortly. And I know that when it does, as everyone knows in this space, either one of those two will catapult a project instantly. So outside of those things this week, I guess a lot of my time is focused on, thinking about what our roadmap looks like for the next 2-3 weeks. One thing that is on my list to do starting today and tomorrow is to revise our white paper. We have to update it. We need to make it more powerful with more information and put a lot more in there about what we're doing, what we've done, and what the future is, short term, medium term, and long term. So that's going to be a big part of the next couple of days for me here. The other thing is, last week we did our first charity drop to Lucas, who is a 4.5-year-old with leukemia, who hasn't ever been able to go on a trip. He's just been sick his entire life. He's wrapping up his chemo in about 30 days, and we are sponsoring. We awarded he and his family an all expense paid trip to Disney World in Florida, which is going to be the trip of a lifetime for him. It's going to be his first, but he's at the perfect age to experience that type of thing like Disney. And his response was it's just amazing to see that we're able to help someone so directly. It's not like it's donating to some charity out there and you don't know if the money actually goes into the people's hands. You know, my foundation, the Beckley Foundation, is all about the giving back, since the beginning. And when I started the foundation in 2016, I wanted to be known as the foundation that didn't take money for operations or payroll, salaries, marketing. So everything that goes into the foundation goes out, every single piece of it. And I'm proud of that. And I don't want to downplay other organizations, but there's a few out there that I know of personally that you give money to, and maybe 20% of your dollar, 20 cents of it actually goes to the purpose. And I know why they do that. They're trying to scale themselves bigger, and they're trying to market themselves and spending a lot of money, doing it. And very little money actually goes to the result. That's a problem in all foundations and charitable spaces, the charity space, but I have a solve for that as well. And the solve for that is finding foundations at the scale I'm at, which is not very large, but finding and identifying those worldwide with that same mission, and building a network of foundations and connecting them so that we don't get scale as one foundation, we get scale as many. And I think that solves that problem, so people can be assured that and confident that if there's charity wallet or outside donations coming in, that they're actually going to like a real purpose. And it's not just a little going, it's all of it going. That's extremely important to me. So I have been vetting some foundations that have approached me over the past couple of weeks to partner. And I'm vetting them. I'm trying to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, what their intentions are. And if I find the right foundations, then we're going to build our network and make it bigger. And that means that the charity wallet will also support those groups worldwide. So again, reaching out if you know of any foundations that you feel meet that criteria, absolutely send them my way so that I can begin conversations with them. So I'll pause there again. There's maybe a couple other things that I will be talking about here, but I'll pause and see if anyone else has any questions.
Jacob.
Hello, how's it going?
Thank you. This is really awesome stuff what you talk about, especially the long-term utilities you want to do. This is absolutely great, and the blockchain stuff with research related, and also the other stuff with the accessibility you told. This is absolutely great, and I think we should somehow, you should talk to the guys or profis who can develop the stuffs, and we should took this in the roadmap of Q tokens roadmap, and this is really awesome, and I'm again proud and happy to be part of your great project again. Thank you very much.
Well, no, thank you. I mean, as I say, this is our project. This isn't my project, and it wouldn't be a project if it wasn't for everybody who participates and everyone who believes in it. So just to talk a little bit more about that, and the utility. My background, for those of you who don't know yet, I mean, I think I've been pretty transparent, but I lead a technology and innovation agency. That's my day job, and I think my roots in that are what is going to make this successful. And you talked about partnering with other professionals, and I 100% agree. Although I know technology, I can develop, I can speak the languages, it's going to take a team. It's going to take a large team to develop something of this scale when we get to that point of the future utility. So we'll need to work through that through partnerships, through hired hands, through volunteers, whatever we can take. But we got to have a very clear goal, and that's what I'm trying to develop right now, is exactly what that goal is, and then break that down into barriers, break it down into obstacles, and figure out what are the things that we need to prove out, or what are the things we need to solve in order to incrementally get there as fast as possible. you know, a lot of projects don't have really great utility at the end of the day, you know, and ours right now, I mean, ours right now is actually a good utility, but I think it could be a lot better. But a lot of projects don't have that. I think that's a big value of Cure, is that we have, you know, a real purpose. We have a real mission. We're actually doing real things, and in the future, I think is of this future utility. I think that's going to differentiate us from anything else out there, in that we're not just trying to live in the BSC space for as long as we can until we die. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to get out of the BSC space as quickly as possible and get into the next network, whether that's Ethereum 2 or other, or potentially our own, you know. And as soon as we can start moving this project, moving that needle further and further, we will become one of the largest cryptocurrencies, known cryptocurrencies in the world. I have no doubt. We just need to keep pushing it. There is such a gap in cryptocurrency at that top level, where there's no token out there that focuses on real utility, focused on healthcare, focused on pediatric cancer research, or focuses on anything causal, charity based. I mean, you know, they always live down in the BSC and Ether space. So we got to elevate this, and I'm confident we will, but it's going to take some time. You know, I mean, reflecting back on the last week and a half, I can't remember where we were last week from a value perspective, but I remember making the claim in one of these videos before that that I thought we might hit a penny by the end of the year. We are now stable at a penny, and we got there in, I think, 3 days from where we were. That's a testament to the project, that people believe in it. You know, people are hearing about us, and people are rallying around this concept. And you know, that goal of a penny by the end of the year, we squashed it, and now we're setting new goals. You know, we're doing the math to figure out where do we need to be from a market cap perspective versus a daily volume perspective in order to get to those goals. And you know, knowing the momentum that we've had, I'm feeling much more confident that we're gonna get to that future roadmap faster than we've ever anticipated. So anyway, I'll pause there again and see if anyone has any additional questions. All right. Glad to see a lot of people from Puerto Rico here. That's great. Awesome. Well, I don't have much more to discuss unless anyone does have any topics. Let me see if anyone put any comments in the chat here as I've been sitting. Somebody thinks we're going to $1. You know, that's actually not unrealistic. Let me I've done some calculations here. Obviously I'm not going to guarantee or promise anything, but I've done some calculations on kind of what are the different benchmarks we need to hit in order to get the value where people expect it to be. So for example, if we wanted to be at a 10 cent, so a 0.10 price per token, we would have to have a $63 million market cap. So that's about what is a 10x? It's a 10x from where we are today. I don't think anyone here thinks that's impossible. I mean, that is absolutely possible to get a 63 million market cap. I mean, there's projects out there with less holders, less purpose that are doing that. You know, there's people who are claiming, what if we got to $1? And that's a stretch. You know, I mean, realistically, we would have to be at a 630 million market cap. Again, not unheard of, but that's a long ways away, to be frank. You know, we look at projects like let's look at SafeMoon, for example. Let me pull this up for everyone.
SafeMoon was a $6 billion market cap at some point. So
that's what I was just looking up. I remember them being in the billions. And let me turn my light. There we go. That's right. And you know, SafeMoon obviously spent a lot. They were revolutionary with their contract. They were the first contract to do. Weren't they the first to do distributions or reflections? And Yeah, I mean, that's a solid project, but they've been on a decline, haven't they? And I think the reason is, because they don't have a long-term utility today, or they're still developing it. That's actually very common in the crypto space, the trend that cryptocurrencies go through. You know, everybody knows you get a massive spike and you try to sustain that as long as possible. Eventually you get into this sort of valley area where you live for a while you're trying to develop new technology, or while you're trying to evolve the project, or while you're trying to build your future utility. And then it comes even further back up, and you get an all-time high on the tail end of that. And that's I know somebody had sent me an image yesterday of that trend, and you can hold that up to any project, and you can see that's how they operate. That's the space. What we got to do is figure out how we don't get into that valley, and that is going to happen through, you know, more aggressive marketing, real utility faster, so that if there is a valley, it's a very short period of time. So those are the things I'm working on, is figuring out how can we strategically build this project in a way that doesn't operate like every other project, that we can exponentially grow farther than the other projects. And that comes down to, as I said, strategy, speed, you know, the innovation of where you want to go, but it also comes down to, you know, spending a lot on marketing, spending a lot on keeping things going. But I think it's possible, you know, at the end of the day. So that's where a lot of my time's going. I guess shifting gears a little bit here again to what's going on next week. We have, oh man, so much going on next week. We have Satoshi Street Bets AMA on Sunday. It's been scheduled and confirmed. Today I will be sending out an announcement for that. That is a very large community for AMAs. And it's great because I get to do a video AMA. And I've been offered some text AMAs recently, and I just don't think there's value in that, and I won't waste my time on it because I think where people really learn about the project is when I can actually speak to them, answer questions, and they can see, you know, my reflection on my face. They can see how I respond, because I think that's extremely important to the authenticity of the project. So SSB, or Satoshi Street Bets, is going to be Sunday, my afternoon, which is 4 p.m. or something. I think it's 4 p.m. on Sunday, Central Time. And don't ask me to do UTC. I'm never going to do an AMA at 10 UTC again. I'll tell you that. So the other things for next week are we are doing an article in Cointelegraph. So if you know what that is, that's one of the top echelon journals for the crypto community. We are doing advertising on BSC Scan. So you know how everyone goes there on a daily basis. We're going to have ads there. So the banner ads that you see. We are also going to be doing advertising on BSC News starting next week. Also very excited about that. So a lot of our marketing is, obviously we're doing organic marketing, we're doing, you know, social, we're doing influencer, but a big piece of this is paid media as well. It's the PooCoin ads. I know everyone says do the PooCoin ads, but it's other things than that. And I'm trying to elevate our level of paid media so that we're not just living in that space, but going much further beyond where people do their research and where people you know, try to get educated. I think that's going to be the space we want to spend quite a bit of our time and marketing dollars in at the moment. So lots of big stuff happening this week from a marketing perspective.
Sir, we have to, sorry for interrupting. We have to do guerrilla advertisement, which is like not costing a lot.
Yes.
And like, you know, we have a huge team and lots of volunteers here. On social media, we can do, like, if you remember this, I don't know, not social media, it was in social media too. It was everywhere. This like this kind of monument thing out of nowhere. They were appearing in different continents thing. We have to brainstorm about.
Yeah, crypto. I think you're talking about viral type. Viral, where it was the monoliths that were appearing all over the world. Yeah. Yeah, that is an extremely important thing, the guerrilla tactic, guerrilla marketing. And we do need to think about when we activate that type of guerrilla marketing, because I do think at some point we will. We can do stuff today though, and this is all community driven stuff. So there's been several people who have been leading a thing which is called raids, and it's a new concept for me. But raids are when a SWAT team or a group of people will identify a Telegram channel and go into it and start not promoting, but start talking about our project. The last thing I think we would want is some group coming into our channel or our group and spamming. Obviously nobody loves spam, so we get rid of it right away. But I'm not sure I would like people coming in and just take over the conversation about an entirely different project. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind it because it would educate me as well. So I feel that if it's done authentically, there's authenticity behind it, and it's not spam, and we go in to these groups with the real motive of evangelizing our project, talking about the great things we're doing and why people should hear about it or be exposed to it. I think that's okay because it's authentic and it's real and it's not forced and it's not spam. It's not copy and pasting. I think there's a lot of value from a guerrilla tactic to do those, and I think they've been very successful for us. I think the authenticity is what's driving that success. So crypto, I agree. I think from a guerrilla perspective, I think there's things we can do today, but also give thoughts to what we can do in the future.
By the way, I want to add, like, this PooCoin ads, trust me, it's not helping. I did follow them, and it's waste of money. That money can be used for some.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is expensive. It's actually very expensive.
Yeah. Lately, I was checking some other projects because I'm a volunteer of CureToken, and I'm trying to learn a lot about this space. It's a huge space, and I checked day by day, like hour by hour. There was this. I'm not going to give the name of the projects, but all day long, everywhere they were, like on like top and bottom part of the PooCoin. I swear they were not doing any pump. They were not doing any pump. It was not helping. Not only one, but the like several of them. I mean, there are some other tactics can be cheaper and more effective. Like I'm against. I was the one at like 1-2 months ago. I was saying PooCoin as would be great, but not anymore. Like this space is just like the people here are not anymore buying like cliche. Yeah, you have to be smart about it. You have to create something new. That's nobody trusts anymore PooCoin as, to be honest. Like there are many scam projects.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's why we're taking the next level. We're going to the Cointelegraph, and the BSC News and the BSC Scan. We're going to that level, which is a different level. It's obviously more expensive, but it's a place that people trust. People go to Cointelegraph for their news. I know I do, and I think having a authentic article created and curated by them about us featured on their homepage is going to do much more for us than a PooCoin ad at the top of a chart that nobody really looks at. So that's the type of content that we're trying to create is much more it's purposeful content. So press releases, featured articles, paid articles as well. But that's the space I think we need to get our word out, because we have such a differentiator from every other project, and we need to start telling people about it and telling them why we're different. And I know recently from the people I've been speaking to that when they hear about our project, they're curious, like, oh, well, this sounds pretty interesting. And when they actually dive into it and start learning about it more, they just love it, and they want to be a part of it, and they want to help it. And that's awesome. And we need more people like that, because the more people we can share our great project with, the more that people will actually be loyal to it and want to get involved and want to help us grow. And as everyone knows, I've been saying it, but this is a community project, and the only way we're going to grow is if we get more people that believe in what we're doing, that want to be a part of it, that want to be part of this global project, you know, and really take it to the next level. And you know, I've said it since the beginning that this project is going to make a difference in not just the crypto community, not just, you know, BSC. It's going to make a difference all the way up the chain. It's going to make a worldwide difference and have a worldwide impact. And you know, my mind is already there as if this is accomplished, and I know it's going to happen. It's just going to take some time to get there, and we're going to have to make some smart decisions along the way. But the goal is to do it as quickly as possible, so that we can elevate ourselves, get out of this sort of space we're in of 2,000 holders and, you know, 3,000 Telegram members as quickly as possible. And we need to grow and grow and grow, and to the point where we're doing millions of dollars in volume a day, which is not too far out, and eventually set higher and longer term goals from there. But anyway, I'm very optimistic about where things are going. And sitting here on October 8th of 2021, we have you know, basically three months left in the year, and I'm not going to predict where we'll be in 3 months, but I will say that in 3 months, all of the people who are here are going to be extremely thrilled and positive and happy and encouraged and just, I think, grateful. So as I am, about all of the things we're going to be doing, all of the people we're going to be helping, all of the research that we're going to be able to support globally, and that as quickly as possible. So I'm really excited about it. And you know, unless there's any other questions, we may be able to end here. Does anyone have any questions?
I have actually, sir.
Okay.
I'm from Turkey.
Oh,
So, and the advertisements like this Times Square classic, it's cliche advertisements are great, but it's not anymore important. But as I'm also in this new chat we created, like Turkish chat group, to bring more people, to make them believe in our project. In Istanbul, it's one of the metropole. I'm just planning this. I'm dreaming. I'm thinking about it to put our banners and stuff on billboards. Sorry, which I will find some. I don't know. I'll talk to people in municipalities and here and there to put our billboards for free. Or I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah, that
should work for that.
Yeah, that's a good tactic. You know, it's called out of home advertising, and you know, actually the company I work for actually does that. We do media placement, primarily national media placement, but for groups like Univision, for example, we do Hispanic marketing and things like that. But my point is that it's a great tactic. You know, it's you know, be in bus stops, you know, posters, and you know, be on the side of buses, or be on billboards or the side of buildings. It is effective, or else people wouldn't be doing it. I don't know how effective it'll be on the crypto side, because I haven't seen people do it, but it could be a game changer as well. And as everyone knows, I think at this point, I like to approach things from a test and learn perspective. You know, test something out, figure out if it works or if it's receptive, and then learn from it and move on. You know, iterate throughout the process. And that's how I've been approaching marketing from my perspective, at least, not from the team's perspective. But like with the PooCoin that you brought up earlier, you know, that was a test and learn. You know, we tested it. It was okay. It was very expensive, and we learned that we probably shouldn't do it. And probably the money would be better spent elsewhere. We're going to find those learning points all the way throughout this journey of things that we should try, learn from it. And if it works, do more of it. If it doesn't work, don't. So this is definitely something that we should continue to look into, is the out-of-home advertising, and see if we can you know, make that work for our project.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rick.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? All right. Well, good. Well, I don't know how long I've been on, but probably an hour. So I'm gonna, I guess, have some parting thoughts, closing thoughts here, and that's I said, I'm just extremely grateful, as I mentioned at opening, but I'm extremely grateful for the community, for the number of volunteers, for the number of people who actually want to see this succeed and are putting their time into it, putting their obviously money into it, putting their effort into it. And this project is really only going to succeed through all of us at the end of the day. You know, it's going to come down to all of our work, all of our ideas, all of our time, and this is going to grow and scale at a pace that I don't think we're all prepared for yet. This is going to scale very, very quickly, and when it does, it's going to bring a lot of new holders, bigger volume, higher market caps, and I'm just grateful to all of you for being a part of this journey with me, and believing in the project and believing in me and my foundation and what we've done, and just continuing to do as much good as we can as a result of all of this. And as I said, I guess one last thought is, if you know of families in need with childhood cancer worldwide, reach out, let me connect with them, and I want to try to start doing more with the charity wallet on a global basis as quickly as possible. So definitely reach out if you know of anyone. So thank you everyone for being here so early in the morning with me. And yeah, again, I'll never do a AMA at 10 UTC again. Learned my lesson there, and I need to change all my clocks to UTC from this point forward. So, but thank you, and reach out if you need anything or if you have any additional questions. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all throughout the day.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.